Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to tackle something that's a huge milestone for any English learner, the past simple tense. Let's jump right in and make this whole thing way easier.
So, let's start with the big question, right? Why is the English past tense so tough, especially for Mandarin speakers? Well, it's a super common problem, and it really just boils down to one massive difference between the two languages.
Okay, so check this out. This slide really shows you everything you need to know. In Chinese, the verb for work, 工作, it just stays the same. You just add a time word like 昨天 to show it was in the past. But in English, oh no, the verb itself has to completely transform. Work becomes worked. And that little transformation is exactly what we're going to master today. Okay, so how do we tackle this? The good news is, to really understand the past tense, you only need to know about two basic types of verbs. I like to call them the regulars and the rebels.
Think of it like this. Every verb has to choose one of two paths to get to the past. On one side, you've got your regular verbs. They're predictable, they follow a very simple rule. And on the other side, you've got the irregular verbs, the rebels. They break all the rules and just do their own thing.
Let's start with the easy ones, the good guys. The great news is that most verbs in English are regular, and the rule couldn't be simpler. You just add ed to the end. That's it. So work becomes worked, watch becomes watched. Easy, right? And now for the troublemakers, the rebels. These are your irregular verbs. They completely ignored that nice ed rule, and they just transform in totally random ways. So go becomes went, eat becomes ate, buy becomes bought. Now, there's no secret trick to these, I'm sorry to say. You really just have to memorize them. But don't worry, we'll focus on the ones you'll use all the time.
All right, we've got positive statements covered. But what happens when you want to ask a question or say something didn't happen? This is where probably the most important rule of the past tense comes into play. I call it the did rule.
So listen up, because this is the key to everything. Whenever you use the word did to ask a question or didn't to make a negative sentence, something kind of magical happens. The main verb, well, it doesn't have to be in the past tense anymore. It actually reverts. It snaps right back to its original form. If you can remember this one thing, you'll avoid so many common mistakes. Let's actually watch this happen step by step. So we start with a positive sentence. She ate beef noodles. Simple enough. Now to make it negative, we add didn't. But look what happens in step 3. The verb ate snaps back to its original form, eat. So the correct sentence is, she didn't eat beef noodles. You would never, ever say she didn't eat. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's see how this all works out in the real world. We're going to look at some examples you could actually use, every single day here in Taiwan. Here are those nice, well-behaved, regular verbs, just doing their thing. I stayed at home. She visited her grandparents. We watched a great movie. He ordered delivery. See that? All of them just have that simple, predictable ed at the end. And now let's see some of those rebels out in the wild. I went to the night market. We drank bubble tea. He bought a new scooter. They took the MRT. These are all super common verbs, and you can see how each one just completely changes its shape for the past tense. And this right here shows that all-important did rule in action. Look at the first one. I didn't see you. Notice it's see, not saw. In the question, did you have fun? It's have, not had. And the last one, where did you go? It's go, not went. See, the word did does all the hard work for us, so the main verb gets to just relax and stay in its original form. Okay, you've seen the rules, you've seen the examples. I think you're ready. It's time for a quick challenge to put your new skills to the test. You ready for this? Here we go, number 1. Take a look at this sentence. I goods to the convenience store to buy coffee. Something about that just doesn't sound right. Can you see what's wrong? If you said the mistake was hood, you are 100% right. The verb go is one of our most famous rebels. It's totally irregular. So the correct past tense is went. I went to the convenience store. Fantastic job. All right, challenge number 2. She didn't want to go hiking because it was too hot. Now, I hear this mistake all the time, so it's a really good one to practice. What's the problem here? And the answer is wanted. Remember our golden did rule? The second that didn't shows up in a sentence, the main verb has to snap back to its original form. So it should be, she didn't want to go hiking. Getting this one right is a huge, huge step. Okay, last one. You're doing great. Let's look at this question. Did you eat breakfast this morning? It's that same rule we've been talking about, just in a question this time. Can you find the error? Yes, the mistake is ate. Just like with didn't, when you start a question with did, you're already showing it's the past. So the main verb goes back to its simplest form. The correct question is, did you eat breakfast this morning? You've totally got this. So let's just wrap all this up. Why does any of this grammar actually matter? Well, it's because the past tense is the language of stories. It's how we talk about what we've done, our memories, our entire lives. Every action that started and finished is a story just waiting for you to tell it. When you master these rules, you're not just learning grammar. You are literally unlocking the power to share your story with anyone. And that really just leaves us with one final question. Think about your day yesterday, your last trip, a funny thing that happened to you. Now that you have the tools, what's the first story you're going to tell? Thanks for joining me.